Hey everyone, and welcome back to Civics Review. Today we're going to talk about citizenship in the USA. What does it mean to be a citizen and how you can become one? Well, let's get to it. Not everyone living in the United States can participate in our government by voting or becoming part of a political office or serving on a jury. In fact, to fully participate in our democratic system of government, you have to be an American citizen. And we define a citizen as a person born or naturalized in the United States. And we find that definition in the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. We might be getting a little ahead of ourselves, but that's where the government rules are. Wait a minute. 14? The 14th Amendment? The definition of a United States citizen is actually not found in the U.S. Constitution. That's right, out of the 4,500 words that set the rules for our government, they never mention once what it means to be a citizen. And when they started making changes to our Constitution, they still didn't mention what it means to be a citizen. The First Amendment, which is the first change to the Constitution, talks about our rights, free speech, our freedom of religion. The Second and Third Amendments give us more rights, all the way up to Amendment 14. That's when they decided to define what a citizen is and how you can become one. Even the 11th Amendment mentions the word citizen and gives them certain rights. So what's going on here? The answer lies in the 13th Amendment. We're going to calibrate our time circuits for January 31st, 1865 and go back and watch what happens in the 13th Amendment. Now, Abraham Lincoln, our president, frees the slaves. Now, as a slave, these people were not considered citizens, and now they are. And so quite a few questions arise after the 13th Amendment, like what is a citizen and how can you become one? And so we quickly get to work on the 14th Amendment, which actually defines the two ways you can be a citizen and the naturalization process. So let's draw this up on the board so that we can compare them side by side. You can be born a citizen or have citizenship at birth, or you can naturalize and go through the naturalization process. It's a lot easier to do it when you're just born a citizen. The simplest way to become a citizen at birth is through the law of blood, or basically if one of your parents is a citizen of the USA, then so are you. The other way to do it is through the law of soil, meaning if you're born anywhere on the soil of the United States of America, then you automatically become a U.S. citizen. It doesn't matter if your parents are citizens, you become one. Not every country has this. Every country has the law of blood, but not every country has the law of soil. Okay, but what if I wasn't born on the soil of the U.S. and my parents aren't U.S. citizens? How do I become one? What if I was born somewhere in Europe or somewhere anywhere else in the world? The only way to become a citizen at this point in time, if you weren't born one, is through the naturalization process. And this is a process for adults. If you're under the age of 18, then if your parents become a naturalized citizen, you too become a citizen of the U.S. There's a lot of steps to it though, so let's get to it. So as we mentioned before, you have to be a legal adult in the United States, which means you have to be 18 years to start this process. The next step is you've got to live here lawfully for 5 years. This is the most difficult part for most people, is to obtain a legal permanent resident card, which is known as a green card, and live in the U.S. for 5 years. A green card lets you work and stay in the U.S. lawfully. Now, there's a couple of ways to fast track this. You can take a shortcut. You don't have to, but you can. And one of those ways is to marry a U.S. citizen. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, you only have to wait 3 years. If you join the military and serve the country, you only have to wait 1 year for the naturalization process before you can go to the next step. Having a green card is simply not enough to become a citizen. You have to apply, you have to want this. You can have a green card for 1,000 years and not become a citizen. You have to fill out an application. That application is going to set you back $725. After you fill out your application, they're going to set you up with an interview. In that interview, they're going to make sure that you are who you say you are, that you're a good person that follows the laws and rules, and that you can communicate, speak, and write English. Up next is a civics test. It's a 10-question test. There's no multiple choice. You just verbally answer the questions. They're going to ask you about U.S. history, our government, our major holidays, and national landmarks. If you've made it this far, then it's time to swear an oath. And in this oath, you're going to promise to uphold the Constitution, and you're going to denounce any other ruler from any other country. And from that moment on, you will be a fully naturalized American citizen that has equal rights as every other citizen in America. If you weren't counting, that was a lot of steps, a lot of years, and a lot of money. Why would anybody want to do this? Well, there's a lot of benefits to being a citizen of the United States. First, you get to participate in our voting, in our government. You have a say. As an American citizen, you can vote for leaders, you can vote for people to represent you in government. You also get the United States passport, which is the most powerful passport in the world. You have access to 184 countries without any kind of travel documentation or visa. That's amazing. No way. It's also much easier to reunify your family as a citizen of the United States. If you're a green card holder or you're a legal permanent resident and you want your family who are not citizens to live with you in the U.S., it can sometimes be tricky to get that paperwork done. But if you are a citizen, you will have access to reunification and your family can come live with you. Pretty cool. The last thing that we need to cover is the impact of naturalization. It has a pretty big impact on our country. And the first thing is it makes it very attractive for other people who are not citizens that they can join and become full members with equal rights as any other American citizen. Naturalized citizens can contribute their ideas, their skills, and their talents to our country. Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla both immigrated and became naturalized citizens. They contributed a ton of scientific ideas to our country. Musician Bob Marley came from Jamaica, actress Audrey Hepburn from Belgium or the UK, and who could forget the Terminator himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger from Austria. All of these people became naturalized citizens of the United States of America. Naturalized citizens can also vote and participate in our government, voicing their opinions, changing our representation in government. Speaking of which, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the naturalized citizen, actually became the governor of California.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Any naturalized citizen can do this, even the Terminator from the future. Naturalized citizens come from all over the world and they bring their food, their language, their customs and ideas to our nation, and this enriches our culture. It makes us the tossed salad that we really are, where it's just a combination of a bunch of goodies all in one bowl, tastes delicious, and is very healthy for you. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks so much for sticking to the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. We'll make more videos soon.